this year?
You know, really excited about the season. You know, I think, you know, our players and our coaches did a really good job over the summer of really instilling a mindset of work, discipline, consistency. So looking forward to building off that momentum and getting started.
A lot of the guys who were here over the summer, they spent a lot of time together. Is that encouraging to a front office to see that?
You know, I think anytime you can try to activate some chemistry and continuity and build some familiarity, that's always a good thing. So, you know, I think the time that our players were able to spend together this summer is certainly a right step in the direction to do that.
Jacques quoted some lyrics from a song, said something like, to get to wonderful, you got to go through a bunch of stuff. How close to wonderful are you think?
Well, I think his analogy is right on. You know, I think all of us, we know where we want to be, we know where we want to get, but we don't want to skip steps along the way. So I think all of our players get that, all of our coaches get that, and we're looking forward to building in the right direction this season.
With the summer league out of the way, what are your expectations for your first round pick if you feel the equal?
Just to come in and compete, come in and play hard, come in and give the type of effort that we know he's capable of giving. So we're looking forward to seeing Victor out there, and our expectation of him from day one will come down to competitiveness and consistency.
Rob, I asked Jacques about this as well. This, you know, organization was a contender in this league for that handful of years, and then dropped to the worst record in the league last year. What's your response to the marketplace, to the fan base, who struggled to watch that transition and see it still in progress?
You know, the goal is sustainability, and that's what we're building towards. So we feel really confident in the vision that we have. We feel really confident in the steps we have to take to get there, and now it's just a matter of staying true to those steps and really focusing on the step that's in front of us and getting over that. And once we do that, we can focus on the next one.
Rob, do you have any kind of time frame? When can you expect?
You know, Brian, we're going to intentionally leave that nebulous. A lot will be based on Glenn's rehab and how he responds over the next couple of months. I would say we hope to have him back within the next few weeks, but a lot will be dictated on how he does.
You mean in the next few weeks, playing, practicing?
Just coming back to practice.
Is it disappointing for a guy like Glenn last year made a bunch of strides on the court as a leader and as a player, and then the injuries just seem to keep piling up? Is it disappointing to see someone who has that much of an impact?
Yeah, you know, I think anytime you experience an injury, it's frustrating for any professional. So, you know, Glenn has had a few setbacks last year on the health front, and he certainly understands that can happen to anybody. And I think his maturity is to a point now where he understands that there are certain things you can control and certain things you can't control. Injuries a lot of the time are things you cannot. So he's looking forward to just doing what he can to get back as quickly as he can.
One of the things that Jacques just said was the only real position out there in today's NBA is the center. Is that where you see the league going? Do you share that opinion?
I think versatility is becoming more and more in vogue as, I guess, traditional positions may not be as concrete, if you will. So I think the more versatile you can be, the better you are to be prepared for anything that you see.
Rob, you guys have a young core here. Is there anything you see from this group of guys that you might have seen in Oklahoma City a couple years ago?
You know, we believe in our young guys. We continue to believe that they'll get better. We continue to see that they have the desire and want to get better. So we're gonna keep the focus on that. Just getting better every day and staying true to what we want to be about.
Rob, there's a lot of media scuttlebutt that the team is supposed to trade Aaron Hennigan, so-called Bledsoe for when all that stuff is out there in the media and repeated a million times, how does a team, a coach, a general manager go about communicating with that player so perhaps he doesn't have any shot to his confidence?
Sure, just being very straightforward. You know, we try to subscribe to straight talk around here. Your example with Aaron. You know, Aaron and I were talking about the other day how a lot of times rumors are rumors, and there isn't necessarily 100% accuracy behind all rumors. So we'll continue to always look for ways to make our team better, and if a trade is pending, we'll make sure we communicate that to our guys.
Rob, last year Alex Martins around this time said, you know, one thing that we will do is we won't disappoint this season. Is there a motto or a focus this year that you can share with us?
Just to get better every day. Really focus on improving organically, improving incrementally, and doing it at a pace and at a speed that is organic, and that'll allow us to continue to grow and to take one step and build on the next.
How important is it to have a young core, having that older core, and helping them, guiding them through this process?
You know, I think balance is important in life, right? Balance is important on a team. So anytime you can find a healthy mixture of young players and older players, I think the synergy that creates is positive and will allow us to grow as a team maybe a little more fluently than if it was not as balanced.
It seems like they pushed each other, held each other accountable. How good is that you have a group that's similar age, you know, you're here every day and they're holding each other accountable?
Yeah, you know, I think you can hold yourself accountable, but when you have teammates that are helping you hold yourself accountable, that's a powerful thing. So I think the structure that we've been able to implement here is one of accountability and making sure that, you know, the work that you put in is fruitful, purposeful.
Solomon Jones is kind of a local guy from Daytona and Tampa. You know, what do you think he can provide this preseason, and what did you see over the summer with Charlotte to bring him in here?
Sure. So really excited to have Solomon with us. His length, his activity in the front court are areas that we're looking to upgrade and improve. So we feel like he'll have a chance to come in and really make an impact in a lot of different areas, but certainly with his activity.
In a league where it's like win now and everyone has to win in one off season, how are you able to keep the patience around here down and get the guys to understand that this is a process and everybody has to understand that?
Yeah, it just starts with trust. You know, trusting each other. It starts with trust in our plan, and we understand that you know, we live in a world of instant gratification, and our goal is to try to build as quickly as we can, try to get to be as competitive as we can, as quickly as we can, but we don't want to do that in a way that's going to sacrifice our long-term sustainability.
There certainly seem to be a lot of high expectations on a national scale for Victor in his rookie year. How do you keep him grounded, or what do you think of that in general?
We don't really pay much attention to that. You know, again, we want Victor to come in and compete, play as hard as he can, and try to impact the game on both ends of the floor.
You obviously did a lot in the first year as general manager. Pretty much anything a general manager can face in the first year. What kind of lessons do you take into the second general manager in place?
You know, keep relying on the team that we have in our office, working hard every day. You know, we have an incredible staff who is really coherent and really committed to getting us to be really good. And the key is to trust each other and continue trying to be creative and innovative as best we can, but also sticking to our values and making sure that any decision we make is based on that.
Last month, the NBA paid to install those ball and player tracking cameras in every arena, just some of the types that we've had from every year now. What do you think those cameras and data you get from them help
you? You know, Evan, that's a great question. I'm not smart enough to be able to tell you today exactly what all this information is going to tell us. I know that we'll work on trying to find ways to create advantages, you know, and try to find new ways to allow us to educate ourselves on what's happening with our own team and what's happening with other teams. But in terms of the secret recipe that will come of that, I'm not sure we even know what yet the full capacity of that.
Rob, with this roster, with this roster, what's your communication link with Jacques as it regards rotation, minutes, your goal in line with his?
So what's the question?
The question is, do you have communication with Jacques on rotation, minutes of players, what you want to see this year, the development of certain players, meaning maybe more time?
Yeah, sure. You know, Coach and I are constantly in communication. We talk every day, and we talk about all things big and small. So we're certainly united on all fronts there.
Rob, this is just hypothetical speaking, but if the team's a contender midway through the season, and obviously you guys might not want the 8th seed, have to possibly face the Heat, could this team make a move to try to improve the roster?
We're always going to try to improve, and we're going to try to play as hard as we can on every position, and we're going to try to win every game. So that's all we can control is our effort and how consistently we approach it.
Emphasis in terms of what you'd like to see in terms of improvement in the over the offseason.
Yeah, you know, I think Nick ended last season with a high degree of confidence, and I think we're looking for him to continue to play confidently and to continue to build on the type of aggression and physicality that he plays with on a nightly basis.
Is there any update on Peter Turkoglu and how that process is?
Yeah, no, you know, we're still working on a buyout. We're still working on a buyout.
Expect to have that done before the season starts?
Time will tell. You know, Joe, I'm not sure. You know, I think the hope would be to have it, but sometimes what you hope for doesn't always come true. So we'll have to just kind of see how it plays out.
Any free agents out there that you kind of got your eye on that you might bring in just to get a look at? Or is this roster pretty much set for camp?
I think for now the roster's set. So we'll go into camp with what we have and kind of see how it goes.
Everyone good?
Thank you guys.